Hey guys, well, welcome to the Lifestyle Business Owner Show. This is where we talk about the street smarts of small business. You know, we are all about small business revolution. We have an awesome interview today. I'm so excited to have her on the show. But if you missed this or any of our previous episodes, you guys can go to lboshow.com and you can check us out, check out all of our amazing guests. And of course, social media is huge in small businesses. So make sure you go and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Lifestyle Business Owner. And I want to introduce our guest today. I'm going to put on my spectacles here. Her name is Lo Farmer. She is a blogger, influencer, and she owns an all-female creative agency specializing in small business marketing, branding, and graphic design. I was just talking to Lo right before, and I'm so excited to have you on our show. So welcome.
Thanks, y'all, for having me. I'm super excited.
You bet. You bet.
Y'all.
And Mayumi, you didn't let people know that we are going to be putting these on YouTube as well, so you'll be able to see.
Yes. You put it on YouTube so that you can see how gorgeous this girl is. Yeah. She's so fantastic. So pretty on the outside, and she's got this too, which is awesome.
Thank you. Most days I'm like working in my husband's boot camp uniform, so I'm really excited that I did my hair today. So please do us all a favor and go to YouTube, because that really should be celebrated.
You look great. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get into this. Man,
all right,
what an amazing intro that I got to read about you. So I guess we want to know the name of your business and how you got started in this venture.
Oh gosh. So I actually went to school for marketing, fresh out of high school, and I went to work for Billabong and did corporate marketing for a couple of years. And then I thought, I really want to go back to school. I was really intrigued by the art department. And so I went back to school for graphic design, and I worked for a little bit, and I thought corporate isn't really my thing. And I feel like I have so much more to offer, but I don't have a structure that allows me to do that. So I started my own social media firm with, this is the best part, no social media experience.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I went to school for marketing, but Instagram wasn't even invented yet. You couldn't even get on Facebook unless you had a school email. So I started from square one. I was doing freelance social media, and then I just started talking about what I was doing and being a small business owner, and eventually visiting more places. And I started off kind of doing wine blogging, and that went into travel blogging, and then doing lifestyle blogging, and it just kind of grew and grew. And, I guess 4 years ago, it was just like party of one working in my parents' exercise room. And now we have a team of 6. So,
wow.
Nice job.
What's the name of the company?
So I'm sorry. So it's Sip Dine Design. And we
Design.
Yeah. And we did that.
Because you drink a lot of wine, because I know that about you.
Good idea right there.
And for the people that don't see this, she got a glass of wine, and she started out with, I thought it was a Coca-Cola, but
So we did that because I was doing so much hospitality blogging, but I was also doing graphic design, and I wanted a name that kind of brought it all together. On my Instagram, I wanted to talk about all of it, and we thought that was a great fit.
Yeah, you definitely have a style. You actually your style reminds me a lot of my sister. I have I don't know how old
she's 30. She just turned 30.
30-year-old sister, and
she's pregnant with her 5th kid.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But she owns 2 businesses.
Yes.
They're both successful.
Very successful on Etsy.
You are so organized, like her in the back.
Yeah.
Her back shelf, she would totally blog on how organized.
Oh my gosh, I am going to replay that soundbite of you telling me organized over and over, and my team and my husband are going to laugh.
Hey, at least that section of your house is.
Yeah.
Nothing has to be.
Well, do you know the Myers-Briggs? By chance, have you heard of the Myers-Briggs?
Yeah.
So do you know what type you are? Are you
have you ever taken the assessment?
Taken it or anything?
I haven't, and
okay.
I'm sure it's whatever is the snow globe option of that's me.
That's what I was gonna say. We're all like that.
We're all like that.
We're all 3 of us are P's. I'm sure you're a P, and so which means it's just kind of a little bit last minute kind of thing, and just.
I'm like a hot mix with a bow on top.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
No, that's awesome.
Let's talk a little bit. Okay, so businesses all need this type of
Yes.
service that you offer, marketing, and there's so many aspects to doing marketing, web design and social media and flyers even.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to get, find somebody. A lot of times, for me as a business, we own 8 companies. And so,
congratulations.
And some of them are like auto repair shops and different things. And you're like, I need somebody to do something quick for me or whatever, but I know that it's hard once you get somebody that you can rely on,
right,
and that you can just call up and say, hey, I'm doing this thing. I want a new, I want some images for Instagram or whatever. It's great that, there's people like you that can do it, but people have to find you, and then you get to develop that relationship and everything like that. So do you work with small, like what kind of level of businesses do you typically work with when you're talking about your services?
There's a range. I would say for the majority, we work with small businesses. I think part of that is because that is who I am, and it's what I'm so passionate about, and I think that comes through on my feed. But we also have corporate clients as well. I mean, we have a corporate wine client that is distributed like all across the United States. I mean, so we work from companies that we're handling national marketing campaigns to companies that are like local real estate companies, like lots of work, do corporate to mom and pop, but I'm pretty partial to the mom and pop stuff.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, we are too. I
We
mean, we just love it. I think there needs to be a lot more strong businesses, small businesses out there, right? And we need to support each other, because there's too many big box stores, big corporations that have taken over and really hurt a lot of small businesses and made it really difficult for them. So I love what you do, and I've seen your Instagram page. I mean, it looks really nice and structured, and your images are nice, and so you definitely know what you're doing. And I saw your website, and it's great too. You put everything together really nicely.
Well, I think that because it's so competitive out there with everything, right?
There's a million web designers.
There's a million web design, social media marketing, but we are so visual. I mean, humans are still very visual creatures. Like your setup in the back, our setup. I really like that you pay attention to that. And it seems like maybe, I don't know, I might be like intruding, but do you look at things from maybe other perspectives, right? So like the way that you set up your IG, and we're going to talk about that too, because you have 29,000
we'll get back there. Don't jump around. ADHD.
I know, it's my ADD.
Right.
But
I'm with you.
How do you know how to put together the right visual content for a customer? So, I mean, question. As far as, from A to Z, right?
Do you interview them, or do you just come up with your own, what you think looks good?
So I think what's really important for some people to remember is you can get caught up in like, well, I'm delivering a quality product. And the reality is of course you are. If you didn't believe in your product, you wouldn't be selling it, right? Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean anything for the person on the other side. So you might have the absolute best ice cream in town that grandma taught you how to make, and it's the finest ingredients, and you grow the vanilla in your backyard. But if that isn't on your store window, nobody knows. And so what I've learned is telling people, like, look, of course you have quality product. Like, of course you have great work. And to be completely honest, if we don't think they do, we don't take them on as a client. But we're about like, yes, you have value, but you have to show people you have value. You have to merchandise. You have to market yourself. You have to spell out what we call value points, which are things that add value in the mind of the consumer to your brand. So our mission is finding small businesses that have something to offer and helping them find the best avenues to bring their brand to the front of people's mind and get them in front of people and really just help them show people what makes them so great.
So it sounds like you guide people more than take their advice. Like, I'm not saying that but it sounds
there's like an element of small business coaching that definitely goes into all of our branding work.
They're coming to you because you are an expert in what you do, right? And they don't really know sometimes, but it's nice to have somebody that will step up and say, you know what, that's great, but I think this would be, a really great direction for your cookies or whatever,
I mean, absolutely. The way that I kind of look at it is we're in a really unique position that because we've done so many labels and work with so many different brands and we're kind of tracking those brands, we have insight into what has worked for people.
Right.
So, and that's just the nature of our business. So what we try to do is give people guidance. Like when I take on a logo project, I don't just say, okay, what's your company name? I say, like, I always, if you're doing a logo with Zip-Den Design, I am taking your consult call. And we are talking face to face.
In their head, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I want to know, what is your business? How did you get started? Like, how do we incorporate some of you into your logo? What
Nice.
is going to set you apart from someone? And then I go back to my team and we all talk about it together and we make a project development like timeline and we all work through it. But I think that it's really important. You know, branding is so personal, and I think especially with small business, this is like, sometimes a logo is, you know, that's canceling a family vacation one weekend, or not going up to the cabin that time. And I take that as a big responsibility. You know, people are going to pour their work into their company and write me a check for it. I like to treat it as if, what would I want if this was my money?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to do that, I think, and it's rewarding, because then when the company succeeds, which they usually do, it's really because I feel like we were part of it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's awesome. So I do have a question about, you know, you're a woman-only run business. So does that mean your customers are only women?
No, but I will say that we have an increase of that. I mean, I have one customer and I deal with the presidents of the company, and it's 3 men that are in between the ages of, you know, like 40 and 60, and we get along great. But I will say that we do tend to have a lot of female clients because of my platform and because of the area that, you know, that's who a lot of my audience is. And I also offer a 10% discount on all of our services to female small business owners, because I'm just really passionate about empowering women and showing them that they can, you know, follow their dreams, as cliche as it sounds. So that does, you know, who doesn't love discounts?
No, you know what? I agree with you, because this is what I don't understand. You know, I think people think, oh, discount, oh, I get it for free, there's a catch. I think we have to get out of that, because our kids are always like, oh, this is free, this is free. I'm like, okay, we'll get it. Like, if it's free, you don't turn it down. If there's a discount, you don't turn it down, you do it. You know, and I think that's great. You know, you're following your passion. And obviously, you know, if a guy, corporate guy, or a small business owner that's a guy wants to hire you, you'll take them on as well. But
of course. And you know what? I actually love those clients. Like, and what's interesting is I love like learning from them too. I mean, let's be honest, like some of these men have been in business for 35 years. So if they tell me this is how they got into account, I want to hear about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's good.
No, I think that's awesome.
And you know, it does make a difference, you know, like in design, where let's say you have a product, right? More of a, you might want a softer touch to it. And I think that sometimes women designers can give you that. Like we had a product that we put out, and we had the packaging all done, and it was, I wanted to have our female designer put it together, because the male designer, you know, it was just too hard and too boring. You know, it just wasn't.
And not that males can't be a little, you know, but it's just
they're different. Our brains are,
or vice versa. I mean, sometimes you have to.
Exactly.
True. Yeah. True.
Try to be unisex, but yeah, I would say innately, it's a little easier to design a logo for something that you yourself would want to purchase, and part of that is because you're so aware of the other brand marks in that market, because that's the industry you're normally shopping in.
Right.
So you do a lot of different services. You do graphic design, web design, SEO even, I think I saw.
We do. So we just started offering that. That's a new service. And to be completely honest, it's because I did a really in-depth analysis of my website, and I said, wow, I should be doing a lot better. And so I've decided we needed to do better. And we did. We like dug in. We went like this, like we just went on this rampage for SEO, and it's paying off. I mean, I'm also
started
really
with your own website, and then that's how you develop that whole division.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in selling anything that I haven't experienced that works for myself. So we hired an SEO specialist, which is also another military wife, and we have been working with her, and it's been amazing. And I'm really excited to launch it to our customers, because I kind of like I do the test drive, and then if it works, we see like how we can utilize it for everyone else. So we're really excited about that.
That's great. I'm going to just kind of splash back to military wife. So Lo is a military wife. Her husband is
retired now, right?
Retired.
So he did 10 years in the United States Marine Corps. He flew CH-53s. So Dylan
awesome.
in San Diego, which is where we met.
But what I love, what you said, is, sometimes when husbands and wives, if one person is in the service, and because a service person has to travel a lot, it does make it challenging for the other partner, whether it be the male or the female, who's not in the service, to get a job and work, because it might only be for 1 or 2 years or what have you. And I love that you have connected with another military wife, where with this business, SEO, you don't have to work where you live or live where you work. So if she and her husband get transferred, she could still be a part of your team and still do the SEO division.
Yeah.
And I like
everybody in your company,
that you brought that in, and it's a good opportunity for women that are married to gentlemen that are in the military.
Yeah, that is honestly a part. It's just so personal for us. I mean, I'll be honest, we were happy to get out, but we,
right.
Our squadron family, I mean, they literally, I don't say family lightly. They are extremely close to us. My number 2, Lauren, the day that I welcomed home my husband from deployment, her husband ran past me and jumped on him and wrapped his legs around him. So it's like, we,
awesome.
all do it together. And I think after seeing so many of my friends who had to change a duty station and they had to give up their jobs, one of my girlfriends, Regan, had a 6-figure job that she, was supporting her family and moving with her husband. But I remember thinking, gosh, there's so many of these women that have these skill sets that are amazing. We know they're hardworking because they hold down the fort while their husband's gone. Like, we know they're resilient. Yeah. We know that they're so smart, but they don't have a means to kind of almost support themselves. And one of the things that we're really passionate about is 50% of our staff are military wives. And we try to find women that have skill sets who, maybe they don't have work experience. To be completely honest, both of the other girls didn't have resumes that would qualify them for the jobs that they hold now at all. They had no experience, but they were smart and they were driven and they were ambitious and hungry and
trainable.
They learned so much, and now my business, they're invaluable. And I think we're just really passionate about, recognizing skills in people, providing free small business coaching on the other day I had my girl say, oh, well, I should probably only be paid this an hour. And I said, no, we're going to pay you $3 more. And this is why. And when a client asks you why you're worth that much, this is what you're going to tell them.
Exactly. No, I think that's fantastic.
Thank you.
You're so young and you already got it all under control.
Oh, don't worry. I'm like a hot mess all the time.
But I love it. Can't wait.
Hey, my wife is a hot mess too.
I'm an old hot mess, so it's okay.
It is just, it's a circus, but it's my circus.
Yeah. It's your circus.
And you built it, and that does explain a little more too, like the female run business, because you thought of a need, like a way to integrate your community, which is so cool. I love it. And that's what's so cool about small business too. You can just do things like that and try them out and see how it works.
You can do happy hour at 3:30 on.
Exactly. Okay, now are we going to talk about my favorite stuff?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So so as far as your Instagram account, like Mayumi had said, you have 29,000 followers, which is a really good following. And you have a really nice account. I want to talk about, first off, how did you get it to that level?
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about how small businesses and, everyone talks about social media and how important it is for your business. Oh, are you doing it? And, if you're not doing it, you're missing out and your business is going to go down and all that, right? And I have different opinions on it a little bit, and depending on what industry you're in. I know my auto shop, it doesn't matter, if I'm on Instagram.
Right.
But I know there's some industries that are extremely important to be there. And so, especially like yours, I'm sure. But can you shed some light on how a small business can utilize social media to their advantage in their business, and how much it really relates to business, or if you have experience knowing any kind of things like that, and then how you grew your account so well.
Oh, absolutely.
But then another one is also, just the misconception or the media hype about how you can be Instagram famous. Is that really a real thing?
I mean, I don't feel like I'm Instagram famous. I don't feel like that. I mean, I get it. Like, I understand that there is that, like, hype, I guess, of that. But I am just, honestly, I'm just loud. Like, I just have a lot to say. And Instagram lets me say it. And I think that before it was just a way for me to, like, I'm a very visual person. It was a way for me to share things that inspired me and what I was doing. And then as we grew and as I was interacting with more people, I realized that one, not only is it a way for me to advertise my business, it's a networking tool. I've met incredible people there. I mean, I actually bought the house that I'm living in right now because I started following a blog that my real estate agent ran.
Wow.
And I just bought another house from her that we closed on this morning.
Oh, wow.
Was that from a blog or that from Instagram?
It's funny. I always tell this when people say, well, I don't know how I would use Instagram for my business. I don't know how it will work. And I say, well, let me tell you a story.
Oh, you got to unmute here. Did you hit mute accidentally? Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Somehow it got muted for some reason. Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
It got muted for a second there.
So my real estate agent and her friend were running a blog called Selling the Fort in Fort Worth. And when my husband and I were living in San Diego and we knew that we were going to have to move, I started following lifestyle blogs in the 3 major cities that we were looking at because I wanted to see what it would be like to move there. I was in San Diego my whole life. And so I followed this blog and I said, well, Fort Worth looks pretty great. Like, I'm really excited. And like, yeah, let's pull the trigger. Let's go for Fort Worth. And I messaged her and said, I'm coming into town and I'm looking for a house. And I bought a house from her. A month later, she told me that her real estate firm was taking over the account and was looking for someone to run it. I ended up flying out, pitching our company. We've been managing that business for 2 years now. And now we're buying our second house through that company. So
That's awesome.
and that was all from just following her on Instagram.
And just talking a little bit, hitting some DMs and making comments or whatever. How active does a business owner need to be on social media like that, or like on let's just talk about Instagram? How
I would say for Instagram, I always say like the golden rule is if you can, a minimum of 4 posts a week. That's what I think. I mean, obviously, the more that
do you have to interact with people also?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You said before, how did you grow your account? And I would say authenticity. When people ask me questions, I answer them. When they commented me, I wrote them back.
Yeah.
I mean, interacting with people, friending people, finding accounts that have, are like yours and seeing how you can work together. I mean, it's advertising for sure, but it's a networking tool as well.
Yeah. How much time do you spend on it a day?
Oh my God, I don't even want to know.
Should I ask your husband?
Well, do you have an iPhone?
I think I'm going to ask your husband that question.
Oh my God. I honestly, so fun fact, I purposely do not check how much because I'm scared to
You
know
can
the
check
number.
on iPhone.
I would say I'm on the platforms for an absolute minimum of 2 hours every day.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
I mean,
I feel like you have to, though.
you totally have to. I mean, that's my lifeblood. That's my business.
Exactly. Okay, so I have a question about the Instagram. So you built it up organically. Just you probably started off with a personal page, and then once you started your business, you incorporated, that, so it created the curiosity. What about the live stories? Do you think that when people, do people that follow people on Instagram or businesses, do they like to see the live stories or the stories of what they do throughout the day?
No, I love stories.
You do love stories.
I think Instagram stories have completely changed the way that we've approached how we handle our clients' Instagrams. I think they're raw. I think they're authentic. I think they're fun. It doesn't have the shelf life of, let's say, a feed post. But I think it's giving people insight to who you are. I mean, that's where I get to talk to my followers and ask them what do you want to see? Like, what do you guys think about this chair? Should I buy it? Like, you know, a lot of times when I'm doing a client logo, I will put it up on my Instagram feed and say, y'all, should we do this yellow or tan? Like, what do you like better? I mean, I think it's key for customers.
And that creates more followers because they feel like, oh, I'm a part of Lowe's life. Like, I'm really.
And they are.
Well, I know.
It's like, that's the best part is when people say like, oh, I voted on your logo. I'm like, I know. And whatever you guys decided is the color we're using.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
That's pretty awesome. I love it.
I love it.
Yeah. So you integrate it in a lot of ways. You make it very personal, you know, and that's what helps you acquire customers, it sounds like. Versus
I think so. I mean, I think that
stuff, right?
one thing I'll say to my credit is I'm pretty, like, what you see is what you get. Like, if you guys have seen my Instagram stories, very rarely do I look like this. Like, most of the time.
I did notice that you grab your husband's ass a lot on your Instagram. So
I mean, it's pretty good, if I'm being honest. I mean, but that's who we are. I'm super extra and over the top, and
I'm extra too.
Thank you. And it's not for everyone, but it's.
Wait, it's your birthday in January?
1,000 people. So.
When's your birthday?
May 18th.
May. Oh, are you an Aries?
Taurus.
Well, oh.
Stubborn.
Mm-hmm. But I'm extra too. My kids always say that. I'm like, oh, should I do this? Or like, that's really extra, Mom. Like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. So yes, got it. Yeah.
Well, you're from Texas too. Sorry to stereotype, but
yeah. Well, what's funny is I'm from San Diego.
Yeah, you're from.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right.
But I love it here. Oh my gosh. My husband was like, you have like a Texas sleeper cell. Like, what is going on?
I thought you looked like a homegrown Texas girl when I saw.
Well, you said y'all. She said y'all in the beginning.
She's a what is it? Integrating really
well. Oh yeah.
Embracing it.
I am drinking the Texas Kool-Aid. It's funny, my number 2, Lauren, she was the military wife as well from our squadron. She is like a Southern girl. She's from Atlanta, and she is like Miss California. And I'm like, we should have switched. Like, I should have been born in Atlanta, and you should have lived in California.
Okay, I want to ask about Facebook too, really quick, because I really like Instagram. But I noticed, and my kids always tell us this too. But what do you think about social media with Facebook and businesses? Because like the kids always say, you know, oh yeah, only old people are on Facebook. And it does seem like with Instagram, you can get more visibility, but then you're not maybe capturing my audience, which is my demographics, like so probably 40 to 65. What do you think? Would you recommend only focusing on one social media platform, or would you recommend doing the 3 major ones, which is what, IG, Facebook, Twitter?
No, it's really interesting. I think it totally depends on your product. Like, I don't use Twitter. I don't. And that's not to say that it doesn't work for some businesses and some people. If you're a news outlet or something like that, I think it's an incredible resource.
Right.
But it's funny that you brought this up. Actually, just an hour ago, I took a phone call. I placed a Facebook ad last week, and I said, I'm just going to see how this does. And about an hour ago, I got someone who called and said they wanted a logo from the Facebook ad. And so it's interesting. What I've learned personally, and I can only speak to my business is as a blogger, is Instagram is where I connect with people. Like, Instagram is where I have the conversations with people, and I'm asking them the questions. And
much more intimate for sure.
Right. But Facebook is where I'm getting the click-throughs.
Really?
So my web traffic is coming from Facebook, but and that's not to say it doesn't come from Instagram, it does as well, but I think it's easier for me to connect with people on Instagram.
Yeah. But you know, Facebook, I think it's already conditioned people to look for things to buy, where Instagram kind of conditioned people more on the social, just pictures and fun stuff, and they're kind of gradually making it more like Facebook, as you're seeing, you know. And
Pinterest is huge. Pinterest actually, 80% of people on Pinterest are looking to purchase.
I love
They're looking for ideas to buy things.
Well,
men don't really advertise on Pinterest.
Men don't do Pinterest.
They don't even do Pinterest typically.
It's a very interesting platform, and we're actually diving more into it in our business right now because I'm being honest, think it's been underutilized. So I will follow up with you on that. But we've done some.
I'd love to know.
Well, this has been awesome. You know, like I want to be able to allow our listeners to get a hold of you, and if you have anything special you want to offer them,
yeah.
go ahead and
So give us all of our listeners how to get a hold of you,
how to follow
all
you.
your followings, if you're offering anything for our listeners, so that when they contact you and they want some advice or direction for their business.
That's where.
Well, we can do that.
I'm just reiterating it. I'm reiterating.
So you can find me at sipdinedesign.com. So sipdinedesign.com. And then if you want to follow me on like kind of more of a daily basis, that is on Instagram. And that's, again, my handle is sipdinedesign. One thing that we're doing this year that I think will be really beneficial for y'all's audience is I've kind of taken a commitment to provide small business tools and resources for other people from what I've learned. So I'm taking everything I've learned from growing my business 250% in 1 year, and I'm coming out with these blog posts of this is why you need SEO. These are the apps you should be downloading for Instagram. This is the website that you should be using. This is the content you should focus on. This is the accounting system I use. And I'm compiling all that information as for free resources for people online. So if you follow the blog, we'll be putting something up every week. And let me tell you, these are good resources because I'm actually paying people to develop them with me. So I'm actually paying for small business consulting, and then we're streamlining it and bringing it into basically teaching, content that people can use to develop businesses, and it's 100% free on our website.
That is awesome.
I love that. I love what you said too, just to go back to us, but that you hired someone, a business consultant, right, to help you in those areas. And, what I really love, and I know that small business owners like yourself who are going to be uber successful, is when you can set your ego at the door and check it and hire someone to not have to make the mistakes, every single mistake on your own. And I know when Aaron bought his first auto shop before we got married, he didn't know anything about auto repair, anything, but he knew he had a business mind, and he'd had his first business in 5th grade. So he had that business mind, but he's like, you know what? I'm going to hire a consulting company. And it was a lot of money. I think it was like 15 grand after you already bought the business. But that was the best money that he ever spent, because he would not be this successful with that shop had he not done that. And we always preach to small business owners, please, yes, you can
get experts.
this.
Hire
get
experts to do other things.
And hire them.
I say that all the time. We have a saying at Sip Dine Design, and we say staff your talent.
Yep.
And
yes.
what that means is, like, I know that I am not super organized, but Natalie, my project manager, is like a freaking file cabinet in human form. And Allie, my SEO consultant, is amazing and has so much to offer. And so we snatched her up. And Hillary, my content manager, she's funny and she's witty and she writes great content. And so she's a member of our team. And I'm a trained graphic designer, but Gabby, who's our on-site graphic designer, she helps me when I say, hey, like, I don't know, is this font better or this color? And then Lauren, my number 2, she's like an extension of myself. And it's like, I know that I can't do it all, but I know that together we do it.
You have, and you're doing it right. I'm always going to plug my husband.
What do you mean, drunk?
No, wine. But Aaron wrote a book, The Lifestyle Business Owner. And the reason why we're able to manage 8 companies is because we're doing exactly what you do. We know where our gifts are. I know where mine is and his are. I don't step on his toes. I don't even want to do what the shit he does.
Right.
I don't want to do my shit. So we know where our talents are, and we hire everyone to do what they're good at, and we don't micromanage them.
No, it's about letting people shine and do what getting to do what they're good at. And I tell people all the time, like, if they're like, oh, I wanted to try this, I'm like, no, let her do that. I want you to do what you're good at. Like, everyone should be a 10 in their own areas, and don't even try to be a 4 in some other one, because then you're just wasting your time.
No, Lo, that's the best advice. So you guys, that you can go to sipdinedesign.com. You can follow her on Instagram, Facebook.
Yes.
And also, when are you going to start your information that you're gonna all
Oh,
of?
we've already started. So
Okay.
we have
Go
another
on our
post
website.
today, and we'll also be, in addition to just providing people with resources for skill sets. Every Friday, we're interviewing another female small business owner, and we're showing people. Because I know it can be a little disheartening sometimes. Sometimes it's a little scary, and so we're showing people like, look at what these people are doing, and look at where they started. So we're giving people resources, and then we're giving them inspiration, and that's all going to be on the blog.
That's
Beautiful.
awesome. You guys, I'm going to go and sign up for it because I'm always wanting to learn. Lo, thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thank
You were lovely. We love you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys for having me on.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Well, you know what? God, what a great guest we had, Lo Farmer. Thank you guys so much for listening to us here at the Lifestyle Business Owner Show. You know, this is a new area where we're going to talk about different businesses, right? Like just kind of the ins and outs of being a small business owner. And today we're going to talk about really quick about, you want to know how to make your money work for you? Because I want my money working for me. Do you want your money working for you?
Of course.
Okay,
That's what we do.
We're going to talk about how to make your money, right?
But I want to be a little more specific about that. You know, let's talk a little bit about different things out there that, you know, people might get bamboozled into, or convinced that it's the right thing to do with your money. You know, there's a lot of ways of spending your money to generate income or profits or whatever, you know, just, you know, multiply that money. And that's what we're trying to do when we own a business or buy real estate or any of that stuff. But remember something, you're going to make way more money in the long run if you invest that money in yourself and your own stuff. And do not get too caught up in putting your money with somebody else so that they can give you a very small return in the end. Especially if you're like a non-accredited investor where you have maybe $5,000-$10,000. I mean, come on. Don't be putting that shit into a fucking real estate fund. I mean, that doesn't make
return.
I mean, we're talking like 6%, claiming 6%. Even if it was 10%, you know what 6% of $5,000 is? That's $300 a year. You're going to make $300 a year by putting your $5,000 into something that, if you just held on to that $5,000 maybe, and maybe tried to save another 5 or 10, you know, or sold some different things at your house that you don't need anymore, your bicycle, your car, whatever, you know, you could actually go and buy a business, and that business can give you returns like 300% on your money or way more than that. Okay. So, this is what we do at LBO. We buy businesses. We buy a business. We'll put down a certain amount of money, and our returns are way freaking bigger. And don't give us your money, you know, other than maybe the education part of it, which is like nothing. $20 or something like that, but I'm not even saying that right now. What I am saying is, don't give people your hard-earned $5,000-$10,000 so that they're going to go buy apartments and shit because you're going to make so much money.
Because you want to be part of that big plan, right? But think about it.
You know,
think about the return of your investment.
Ego a lot of times, right? I mean, like people get caught up. Oh, I'm an owner of 160 unit apartment complex. Like, fuck that shit, man. That's
you put in $5,000. You're not really an owner.
You're not, man. It's like buying stocks and you know, you can put some money into a stock market and sometimes, you know, it's just volatile. But I always found that I'd rather invest in my own stocks versus buy somebody else's stock that I don't even know how they're going to run that business. They may be a shitty business owner. I'd rather risk myself, and then I say, you know what? You know, I fucked up. I didn't do a good job, and I lost that money. But you know what? I learned a bunch of shit on that. So next time I do it, I'm going to do this or that. You know, just remember that money is really valuable, and you don't need to spend it right away because you only have $5,000 and you want to be making more money. You can be saving for a little bit, or that $5,000 could even be used to buy into somebody's company or somewhere maybe you're working, and you can start making payments into that company and become a business owner. But you're, again, a business owner of this one entity or one business and not just an investor with like 1,000 people.
Right.
So that's all, I really wanted to, make that point and get that across to people. I think I maybe did.
Well, and I think too, like what Aaron's trying to say is, why do we want to put into somebody else that we don't know into their success?
Yeah.
Why don't you want to take that
Keep
money
pumping their dream
and pumping it into yourself?
Yeah.
Because really, they don't give a shit about you. They don't care about your $5,000 to $10,000.
They're like, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, I lost it.
Yeah.
I mean,
they don't care.
You probably won't even get that. If you only put $5,000 or $10,000 into something, you're going to get
little,
an email going, I'm sorry, it looks like things failed for this investment thing that we had.
Remember that
we
thing
apologize,
you signed? Sorry.
So,
it's past the 90 days or whatever. So what we're saying is invest in yourself. And, I know it sounds ridiculous maybe to like sell things in your house you don't use, but you know what? What are you keeping it for? If you can get an extra $300, $400, $500 or $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 from shit that's lying around in your house that you don't ever use, and that's now your $5,000 that you started off with. Now you have another $5,000. Now maybe you work some overtime at your current job so that you know exactly how much you need to save up so that you can be a business owner.
Yeah.
It's not very much, you guys. It's not.
Yep. And believe in yourself and believe that you can actually do it. And there's a lot of quick, fast talking, salesmen out there that will, get you to do things because of their own interests. Remember that.
Yep.
So be wise in your head. And there's situations where it's worth investing, but I think it really is better if you have a lot more money to put into like if you had $100,000 or $200,000, $300,000 maybe, and you wanted to be actually not even that. If it was a small like deal or something where you're going to be like you and a couple people, that would be one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just a small, minute portion of that big investment, like stocks and stuff, the returns are usually limited. Stocks, they're volatile. So, I mean, you can make money, but you just don't know. So why not?
You don't have the control either.
Yeah, control what you're putting your money into. So anyways, that's about it on that.
Well,
what?
Can you tell them about one of our businesses?
Oh, well,
and
which one?
The one that we made 303%.
Oh, yeah.
303%.
So we bought a business. It was about 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And we bought it for $550,000. So the business was priced at that, but our down payment only needed to be 10%. And so that's only $55,000. And that may sound like a lot, right, to some people, and I'm not saying discounting that, but it could be a smaller business, and same thing, but this is our situation. And so that $55,000 that we put down, that was an investment because we did not work in this company when we bought it. It had all the people working there. And our first year, we made $168,000 on that one. That was like 300% on our money our first year.
On a $55,000 down.
So then this last year, we made $375,000 on that business with zero effort, energy putting into it.
I went and put the Christmas tree up.
So
that's all
ask this person that's trying to get your money.
Yep.
Hey, can you give me 300% return or more?
No.
And I'm going to get this every year. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Like, this is fucking killer investment shit.
Yep.
Okay. So get excited about it and get excited about you making your own money and your own investments, and don't get caught up in the ego and the bullshit of other people.
Yep.
Okay.
And
what?
Becoming a business owner. You guys,
it's fun. It's exciting.
Fun.
You wouldn't be listening to this if you're not wanting to be a business
Yep.
owner, right? I mean, this is our market.
Yep.
You guys are the ones that matter, like would even give a shit about what we're talking about right now. Before we go, we were going to plug our academy that we do have, and it's $29.95 a month, and it's all kinds of videos. Mayumi and I over 100 videos. Training people how to buy a good business, grow your profits, and get that business to run without you. We also got a book that we put out called The Lifestyle Business Owners, kind of behind us here and there.
Yep.
But anyways, it's all kind of based around that stuff. We can teach you all kinds of great stuff, and we're the real deal small business owners, and we love it, and we have a lifestyle that gives us everything we want and the time because we are business owners, and we have multiple streams of income because of all the businesses that we own.
Absolutely. So, and then if you want to follow us, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook,
it's the Lifestyle
Twitter, the Lifestyle Business Owner. If you want to go and sign up for our academy at lboacademy.com. You guys, we took the time out to put into videos all of our mistakes that we've made over 20 years of being entrepreneur and business owners. And we have compiled it into an academy so that we can help you be successful and be a successful business owner. So check it out, you guys. It's what would you say, $29 a month?
$29.95.
$29.95 a month.
And no long-term commitment. You can cancel anytime. If you think it's dog shit, just cancel. I don't care.
You won't think that, but it's awesome. So you guys, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you soon.
Peace out.